What's up, everyone? BATCRAFT. And yes, it is raining. It is always raining in Gotham and on BATCRAFT and on R3 in general. This has just been a very rainy season thus far. Not sure why that is. Not sure if it's one of the plugins we're using that is messing with the weather cycle, if it's part of just the new update, or if we've just never noticed how much it rains. I don't know. But it is raining, and it's not stopping. So last week, we made some deals that secured us the land for our new base, and we had to get moving. And when it comes to moving, I made every single phone call I could. I made sure that we got a great moving company. I went into the phone book. I was like, what? I want a prime moving company, okay? I want an optimal experience. And boy, oh boy, did they deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my new starter base, which is actually a moving truck. Now, I am really happy with how this turned out. I actually, and you can see, we're going to talk about this and kind of some of the bigger plans and all that kind of stuff here in a few minutes. But first, let's just take a look at this. I'm really so excited for how this turned out. I wanted my starter base, since we're making a city, I thought it'd be kind of cool if our starter base was actually in a moving truck to kind of communicate that we are moving into the city. And, I actually tried a bunch of different designs, and, I was like, as I was kind of messing around with it, I was like, well, what kind of color scheme do I want? And I thought, look, if we're doing a big moving truck, then why not go with an Optimus Prime just color scheme? And then I was like, you know what? With that in mind, why don't we go with like a full-on G1 inspired truck? So I actually had a more detailed version of this that's a little bit more, oh, it's finally daytime. Sorry, okay, let's enjoy it while we got it. Yes, I actually had something a little bit more detailed that looked a little bit more like an actual, truck. But then I thought, you know what, let's just go stylized. Let's go with Optimus Prime G1 all the way. And I think it turned out great. And I'm really happy to have it here because this is moving me into our new Yorktown, or whatever we're going to call the city. Got the Flower of Friendship right here until we can figure out what to do with it. And we've got a bunch of storage, got a little kind of crafting table, kind of a schmelter going on, and that is pretty much it at the moment. There's not like a whole lot here. And honestly, there's not going to be. This is really just to kind of get me started here because the base itself is going to be massive, and we have got so much crazy work to do. In fact, I've been messing around over the last couple of days with this little corner of the space, which in terms of kind of like, if we kind of think about back there being the front and this kind of being the back, right? Because we want the city to kind of back up alongside this mountain where this street, I don't know if this is actually going to end up going into the city or if it's going to curve around or if we're going to like block it off as if, our optimal moving company did the suboptimal thing by driving down a road that wasn't completed yet or is currently in construction. But regardless, and we may end up just moving it all together. That's the great thing. Compared to everything else, this little build is small potatoes, so we can always move it if we have to. But anyway, so if we kind of look at this as the back of the base, that back there, you can kind of see where the carving is. That is actually the back left corner. And that's probably going to be the biggest challenge, is just clearing out this hill in terms of all the clearing that needs to happen. But compared to where I was before, that is not bad at all. So let's talk about the base actually overall, right? So we're going to be making a city, and we're doing a couple of cool things with this city. We're going to have different buildings for different farms and that sort of thing. And for mini buildings, we're actually going to I'm taking inspiration from cities and buildings that have personal significance to me. And I'm really excited for what that means, especially for my main base when we eventually build it out. That is going to be kind of a collection of buildings in the middle of the city, and I'm really looking forward to it. But for now, these are going to be more traditional buildings, not necessarily anything of extreme significance, but we're going to be making kind of a grocery right here. And I think we'll be making a hospital right here. That's the idea. So there'll be kind of a tall hospital building that'll kind of go right here. And then this right here is going to be a grocery store. And as you can kind of assume, the grocery store is going to be where we, grow our food and have most of our farms there. And I kind of have this cool idea. Much like last season with Mount Zoom, how there was kind of like a bunch of farms up top and then you kind of sit down below and collect everything you need. That's the same idea here. We're going to have a couple of farms in kind of the top area, but then when you walk into the grocery store, you'll be able to gather your items. And then theoretically, we'll also have a couple of villagers here that you can trade with. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be really great. The design I'm super proud of, but yeah, the final design is actually going to require a lot of materials that we're not going to have for a while. So we're going to do this in stages. So at first we're going to be kind of building the interior farms, and this is not really going to look all that pretty, but the goal is to eventually cover it up with everything that we need to make it look pretty. So that should be good. So I think this is going to be kind of our main priority. And then we're also going to be working on the hospital. Now, Will talked about how he's got a kind of plans for a villager breeder, and that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be necessary. My goal is to also have kind of a villager breeder and purifier down here as well. Because you think about hospitals, that's where you go to get healed. That's also where you go, to have babies. So the goal there is you got the babies, you got the baby making, and then you got the people getting sick and getting healed. And I think it'll be kind of fun. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to that point or not. So one way or the other, these two designs, these two builds are really going to be my top priority. And we're going to have to kind of see how it all goes. The other big thing that I need is either a silk pickaxe or blue ice. I'm hoping that somebody gets silk touch and I can kind of ask them very politely if they can hook me up with some blue ice, because I'm going to need a lot of basalt. And the reason is because our roads are going to be paved with basalt. So I'm looking forward to getting that together, because aside from these two buildings, I'll also want to start kind of laying out the roads, which are going to kind of help communicate where some of the other buildings are going to be. And that's going to be critical, especially as we're flattening out the land and kind of getting things the way that we want them. I'm growing a couple of trees here to try to get us a little bit more variety in wood. And in fact, for the hospital in particular, there is, I think it's acacia wood that I'm going to end up needing quite a bit of. Okay, so as you can see, I've started to kind of create a little border for where this is all going to take place. And I believe maybe around here-ish, we could probably safely go ahead and add a second level, which is really the one that we need to focus on. And we want this to be, I think, 10 blocks high, so that's one, I think, not used to not having wings yet. Still getting used to that. Okay. That should be high enough. Yes, I'm thinking that should be good. Which means we can start to kind of make ourselves a bit of a dirt square. The big one is the melon and pumpkin farm, because that's good. Like, it's great to have. And once it's operating, it produces a ton of melons and pumpkins. But the problem is that it does take a while for those vines to get ready to grow. I just love looking up there and seeing them. It's great. Oh, it's so cool. I'm so happy for that. All right, so I'm not going to lie. I made a lot more progress than I would have thought. In fact, it's not done, but the bottom portion is, as you can kind of see right here. You can kind of see what we're going for, right? I mean, a little bit. There is a very large national food chain that we are taking, well, I guess a national grocery chain that we are taking as inspiration that'll become more and more. Oh, whoa. Didn't expect that. Okay, hang on. There we go. Yes, taking inspiration. It'll become more obvious as we get a little bit further into this build. But point is that this is kind of the entryway. And as we go in, mostly I just kind of need to secure the bottom portion so that I could begin with the trading. I got the villager trading up and running, or rather breeder from Will up on the hill. It ended up being super easy just because it's just a very natural slope. So I just put him in a boat, slid on down, and we were here. And then we got to work. We got very busy because we now have several farmers here to trade with our melon and pumpkin farm, which has been rocking and rolling. And, I realized that since we're at this stage and I really need some silk touch, I thought I'd also go ahead and start working on some books. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of trading here, which is really good because this is the season of giving. Right now we are in the holiday season, and the BATCRAFTers have already started gift exchanging and gift giving and that sort of thing. Will actually kicked it off by giving us all shulkers after they slayed the Ender Dragon, which I'm very glad they did because, as you may have already noticed, I've got wings. That's right. No Red Bull required here. I am now able to fly. And man, I've missed these. I've missed the ability to fly so much. In fact, you know what? Let's just go ahead and fly. I was gonna take the Nether to get to Gotham City, but you know what? We're just gonna fly. Oh, doesn't that feel good? It feels good. Flying early, like as soon as you get your wings back, almost immediately, it's like breathing. It's like, this feels good. This feels right. Plus, with all these like new mountains and everything, it's just beautiful to take in this capacity. You know, like just a nice flyby, a nice flyover. Just really enjoy what we got. Still don't have my Silk Touch pickaxe. I need that because I'm gonna need that blue ice to get the basalt. All right. Fox has already been hard at work, as we see. Starting to, I guess, put on some city limits. I think he and I are going to meet up later on this week to discuss what he's thinking for the city. See if we can make sure that we've got a good spot for shops. We've got a good spot for the Batcave, or rather for Wayne Manor. I don't know. There's a lot going on. This is an interesting space. It's tricky. It's very tricky to figure out exactly what to do with it. We've already got some shops popping up, including one by yours truly. And I don't know if we're going to have time this episode or not, but hopefully we might be able to establish shops. We're either going to build this up this week, or we're going to do it next week. But more on this in a minute. This little plot of land, this little parking lot. Yeah, that's mine. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, more on that later. Right now, the big thing is gift giving. We need to be Santa Claus. Now, you'll recall from last season, if you watched last season, that the post office was a big function that helped us out a ton. And this time around, we have got a new P.O. box. Now, we will probably build this out into a full-on post office later on, but we went ahead and set this up just so we could start exchanging things. And ironically, it was not originally for exchanging gifts. It was just kind of to drop things off because we don't really yet know where everybody's bases are. We'll probably go around and try to visit some as people get more established. But yeah, this is kind of a good method for us to drop things off. Now, immediately I'm noticing some things because some of the color schemes have changed, which makes sense. I mean, like, this is what we said. We said that, you know, fresh season, fresh start. I even told everybody, if you want to claim your box, do so. If you want a new color, this is the time to do it. And that is clearly what happened. I stuck with gold. Now, in a different capacity. Last season, it was more Eobard inspired. This time, you know, it's more golden, all right? More of kind of like a, you know, that's the color of my of my cybernetic implant. So I thought, you know what? I'll just stick with gold, make it easy. Nobody else did the same. Did everybody do something different? I think literally everybody did something different, except for Will. Will stuck with blue, but Belle is now orange. Dr. Alien is now red, or Dave. Dave, as he would like to be called. Dave is now red. It's hard not to call him Doc, though. We got Foxy is green. That's going to throw me off because... okay, yep, Foxy's green. I can get this. I'm going to get this down. Will's still blue. Kyle is black. That actually might help because I always forget that he's got Darth in his name, because Dolphin and Darth, as a dyslexic, that throws me off like crazy. But if I can remember, Darth and black, like the dark side, is Kyle. Kyle's one of the nicest guys. I don't know how I'm going to remember that, but I'm going to. Night is purple and snow is white. Probably the easiest one to remember, all things considered. So I think that's good. I think we've got this. But people have already been dropping off their gifts. Let's see. And here's mine. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh, Night hooked us up. Look at that. We got a beacon from Night. We got, oh yes. I have been missing these. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be great, especially with as large as the base is going to end up being. Like looking around. What's that? Who's that? Who? Ha! Ha! Anyway, I love having these. Let's see. We got the telescope. Oh, we got some beautiful redstone dust and lapis. Okay, don't know who that's from, but thank you, whomever. And a block of raw copper. Awesome. All right, I'm sure it's probably in Discord and in terms of who all this is from, and it is greatly appreciated. I hope that everybody appreciates the gifts that I'm giving them, because after a ton of trading and a ton of emeralds, I have got mending books, one for everybody. So I'm really excited to drop these off for everyone. All right, we're going to put these all in the stockings with care. One for Knight, one for Will, one for Belle. Actually, I could give him Cole. You know, it'd be ironic. It'd be ironic for like 2 reasons, not the least of which is that Belle has had a really difficult time getting Cole. And so I think it'd be really funny if if we just gave him Cole. Not because he's naughty. It's because he's nice. You know what? We're going to do both. We're going to give him Mending and Cole. Let's see. We've also got Doc Alien. We got the Fox. We got Kyle. And we got Snow. I think that's everybody. I think we got everybody hooked up right there. And I think we need to take what's ours. Yes, absolutely. Thank you to everyone. What a great great gift giving session. This is a new tradition. I think this needs to be a new tradition. Also just going to pick up some of this wheat while we're here. You know, Knight has been so gracious to set this up. And you know, it's interesting because it seems as though he's doing this, just out of the goodness of his heart, which is great. Knight's a nice guy. He does good things. It's a gift, he said, from Valenco, which I believe is the name of the company he is hoping to establish here in Gotham. And this is just very generous. I, for one, am a big fan of Valenco already, just for how wonderful they are at hooking us all up with free wheat out the gate. Nothing suspicious there. Or at least there better not be anything suspicious there. Because I'm a hero, and I will investigate if there's anything suspicious. But there's not. This is free wheat. This is good stuff. Now this works out well because I do have some friends, I believe, who are lost in the Nether. Ooh, and I also need to eat. Man, I forgot how far away this original base was. Hey guys, yep. Come on. Come and get your wheat. Come and get your wheat, come and get your wheat, come and get your wheat now. Come and get your wheat, come and get your wheat, come and get your wheat now. Okay. I want to get them close enough to safety and then make sure I got everybody else. Did I get everybody else? Y'all are staying back there. Nope, I knew there was more. Alright, come on. Alright, boys. This way. Come around here. Yeah, and then through here. Don't touch the cactus. Then in here we go. There you go. Just hop on in. There you go. Now you're safe. La-da-da-da-da. And boom. Good job. Oh, except for you. All right, come here. There you go. Okay, now then. All of these farms that you see over here on top of the grocery store will be covered up. For now, it's just helpful because, the produce is actually more important. It's the function at the moment is more important than form, although that will definitely change over time. I am curious as to whether or not it's working. So this one right here, I wish I had built this up like 2 or 3 more blocks higher, just from a visual standpoint, but it's fine. I'll figure it out. I'm going to kind of do my best to clean this up in post. I don't know, how we're going to do with the interior. I've never been huge on interior. It's just never been something that I've been very good at, but we're going to figure it out as we go along. At the moment right now, I want to get the exterior looking nice and I want to get the interior being functional. So that's kind of the game plan. But this is working. Like, this is producing melons and pumpkins. That is happening. I'll need to AFK here. I obviously have not done so. So that has not really happened the way, like we haven't gotten a lot at the moment. And the other thing too is I've already traded everything to get those mending books. And this is working. Okay, I was just coming up here to check whether or not this was working so that I could explain to you why I had no idea that it was, why I had no idea that it wasn't working, but it is working. Okay, so I've never done one of these things before. So I'm really proud of how this turned out. But this is my carrot farm. This dude right here is harvesting all of these carrots. He's trying to trade it with that dude over there. It's falling into the hopper, which is then putting it down into the other hopper. And thus, I have a carrot farm. which is awesome. So now I've got the carrots that I need to trade with these dudes, because all of these guys trade carrots. And then, of course, you can breed with carrots. And then we got the melons and pumpkins, because all of these dudes trade with melon and pumpkins. Oh, this is great. I am going to be rolling in the emeralds, which is going to be so needed because of all the materials that we need this season. This is so good. So good. And then books-wise, these guys are probably only temporarily here. I'll probably breed up some more I'll probably breed up some more of these guys and probably temporarily put them here. I've got kind of a long-term home that I want to put those guys in. But for the moment, this works out well. And this also kind of keeps my villagers contained, because one of the things I'm realizing is that I'm going to need an iron farm. And that's going to be tricky because I really need to lay out the road, so I need to know where the iron farm is going to be, and it needs to be 100 blocks from this area, but it also needs to be 100 blocks from where I'm going to put the book guys. And anyway, I could do math or I could draw it out. And I want to draw it out. And by draw it out, I don't mean like on pencil and paper. I've already done that. And to do it in here would require math. I kind of want to lay out the roads and then put out the buildings. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Maybe I should just do all this kind of naturally. I've thought about maybe taking some of the pressure off and doing that as well. But the iron crunch is real. And that is something that I'm realizing is going to be a problem sooner rather than later if I don't get it right. And I mean, like, just to kind of give you an idea, let's see. So let's presume, for example, that the grocery store is here, the hospital is going to be here, and then we've got where I'm planning on putting the book dudes is probably going to be here. Originally, I had it over there, but now I think it's going to be over here. So the iron farm, I kind of want to put, like, if this is like one corner of the city, then I kind of want to put it on the opposite corner over there, which needs to be, I guess, like 100 blocks that way, right? So, hang on. Okay, so if this is 750, let's go to 650 or 850. And then over here, about 20, I guess, right? No, because it was negative something. I don't know. So, like, about right here ish, which is below sea level, or rather below the city level. So, like, we have to build out the streets and everything. That's going to put it over here. And, like, my main base, when I build it, is going to be like right over there-ish, I think. And yeah, it's difficult to calculate, and it's not going to be easy to just kind of plop it over here and then fix it in post. I mean, it might, but it also probably won't. I don't want to mess up some of the other builds in that process. So either I need to kind of create some sort of early deal with somebody who has an iron farm, or I don't know. I really need to get that basalt, because that basalt's going to let me lay out the roads, because I'm planning on making the roads out of basalt. I know, basalt. But anyway, ouch. It just, one thing leads to the other, and then you just got to figure it out. Oh, Optimus, what would you do? I'm just kidding. This is not Optimus. It is a moving truck. Optimus would be off-brand, and we are not off-brand here at BATCRAFT. Oh, hey, look, it's a fox. Hey! Can't recall if we ever figured out who Fox was supposed to be. We guessed so many things, and I can't recall. Was it Ra's al Ghul? Is he Ra's al Ghul? I don't know. Well, I guess that's something that we'll have to figure out in the future. Today, we're going to be building a shop. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, I have got this wonderful lot of land. I've got my 9x9 that we all get when we first join up, but then I went ahead and, maybe kind of getting ahead of myself, but I bought a second 9x9 plot to be able to expand out to. And yeah, I have ideas. I have ideas for kind of a bit of a theme that I don't know if it's going to necessarily go with the theme of my base or not. I mean, that was the idea originally, but I'm just not 100% sure if everything is going to, I don't know, if it'll all be the same or not. But regardless, that's where my head's at the moment. And yeah, this is going to be the location of my shop. Now, my shop sells, ooh, wow, my shop has been selling. Okay, we sell wool and we sell books. And now, thanks to our new villagers and villager trading, we also sell nice books, expensive books, good books, books that everybody needs. And right now, it's a little weird because you go into a shady parking lot to make your, purchases, and it's a little sketch. That's not what we want. We don't want sketch. We want good, and good is what we're going to get. So, we're going to build out these shops, and should I just tell you what it is, or do you want to see what it is? I kind of feel like you'll figure it out. And it's not going to be too big. You might have already figured out where I'm going with this, but let's just see what happens. I hope I calculated up enough space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Ooh. I did not calculate enough space. I've already sunk 9 diamonds into this, and I haven't yet made up my profits. Or I haven't yet covered my cost, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, but pretty close. You know what? That's what we're gonna do, though. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna buy 2 more, right? No, wait. If we do that, then that's done right there. I forgot how math works. No, yeah, we're gonna take the money that we've made and we're gonna reinvest back into the business. That just makes sense. It's early profits. This is great. Like, it's gonna be great. I hope it's gonna be great. And actually, I sold something to Kyle. Yeah. And actually, you know what? I sold a mending book to Kyle before putting him in the shop. So I got 3 diamonds coming in. So yeah, no, I think I'm at break even. Yeah, that's when you reinvest into the business, right? I think that's right. We'll find out. This is the temporary Bank of Gotham. Okay, good deal. Oh. Hello. Yes, let's get you taken care of, shall we? Superhero. I am the hero that Gotham needs, but not the one it deserves. No, that is reserved for someone else. Honestly, all the mystery is taken out almost instantly, right? Like there's no surprise here. It's very clear what I'm going to be doing with the parking lot, right? If nothing else, this is also showing other areas that need to be lit up. But like that guy right there, this guy just came over the hills in broad daylight. This whole mountain is like a danger zone. It's crawling. We definitely need to do something about that. Hey, it's Will. Goodbye, Will. Wait. Was Will dressed up as the Condiment King? I think Will was dressed up as the Condiment King. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what I just saw. Okay, back over here to what is probably fairly obvious at this point, but we are building a ice cream truck or a food truck or an ice cream truck. I guess ice cream trucks are food trucks, but not like all ice cream trucks are technically food trucks, but not all food trucks are ice cream trucks or something like that. All right, where was I? Oh, yes, right. We need to build out the other portion of the shop for the books. It's the lot. I think I'm going to call this shop the lot. Anyway, point is, yes, I want to build out this whole parking lot into kind of almost like a farmer's market type situation. Except, this next one is going to kind of break that. As you can kind of guess again, based on what I'm going to be selling, what is going to be the thing that we are about to build. Now, one thing I definitely am not going to be selling this time around is concrete. That was such a monster to try to keep up with, and then nobody ever bought any. So that's not happening this time around. So this definitely, it technically qualifies. It's technically inside the boundaries of what I've purchased. But it is going to jut out a little bit, but I think that's okay. I think that might actually be okay. That might make sense, all things considered. How do we want to do this? I think that I'm going to, we'll just feel this one out. I've got sketches that I'm going based off of, but this one I might make some changes to. I'll just kind of feel it out and see how it goes. The funny thing is, when I came up with the idea that I wanted to do this, every single day that the bus drives by to drop off the kids and everything, all I could think about is like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to building this little shop out. Okay, yeah, this is looking good. There's a couple of different little features that I want to have on this. For one thing, we need to put a little redstone right there for kind of a stopping sign. Would it look good if we do it both ways? Maybe. Probably. Oh, creeper. Okay. Hero time. Ooh. Much like a real superhero, I have done damage to the city. What? No! Oh. Man, okay. That didn't do too much damage, all things considered, but wow. I got tossed. Also, creepers definitely evaporate wool, so that's good to know. Okay, so this is not exactly the safest shop, all things considered, but it is here. So we just need to make sure that we get our books and everything put to where it belongs. And then we're pretty much, other than a few little finishing touches, which I can kind of come back for later, this thing's pretty much ready to go. It's pretty much here. All right. Yeah. So a little bit of finishing touches definitely going to be happening off cam, off mic, off camera, whatever the right phraseology here is. But regardless, the shop is definitely coming together. You can kind of see where the mindset is. And what I would love is over time to kind of expand it to another side of the parking lot as well. Now, if somebody else ends up buying this before I can, that is perfectly fine. We got to, my mindset is if we need to even move everything, we definitely can. I know that this is still very much in the planning process, so totally okay. I am not going to be mad if Fox ends up telling me that I have to move this. That just makes sense. But my vision is to ultimately have like a parking lot with a bunch of different cars and trucks, farmers market style, selling different things. And yeah, we're going to need to get some like traffic lights or some parking lot lights in here and make sure that this is nice and safe, because at the moment, definitely is not. Actually, Gotham as a whole is definitely not safe. I think leveling some things and lighting some things is going to go a long way. But looking forward to the meeting with Fox to find out what we're all going to do. Of course, the jobs board is there, so I should probably check it before I head out. But for right now, I am going to go ahead and sign out. Say thank you to everybody for watching. Be sure to check out everybody else's live streams and all that kind of great stuff. And yeah, until next time, goodbye.